Hey guys, you've seen these clear cases around on the internet. Now it's been a bit of a fad, a bit of a trend in the community, people putting their Gunpla model kits in these clear cases, hanging them from their bags, and I'm sure you've seen it around on the internet. Maybe you've got one and tried it out yourself. I thought it'd be interesting to make a video about this, and so I ordered this case a couple weeks ago. It's been sitting here on my desk while I was thinking like, it's not really that interesting. Do I really want to make a video about it? I don't know. I've just kind of been busy doing other things. Then yesterday I saw that our friend over there on Mecha made a video about it, and I thought, well, I'm definitely late to the party now. So in an effort to not just make the same video that he just made, it at least gives me an opportunity to structure my video in a different way to try to show you guys something different. So in case you've already seen that video, you're not just going to be watching the same video again. So I'll try to talk about at least a couple of other different things about what is basically just a bit of a trend at the moment, and I hope that you guys find the video interesting. So let's get into it and talk a little bit more about what is all going on with these clear cases. So first of all, if you wanted to go online and get one of these cases for yourself, you might notice that a Pelican 1040 case run you about $29, something like that. I wasn't really keen on paying that much for what is essentially a meme, so I opted for an off-brand imitation case, which only cost me about $14, about half the price. So definitely something that was a lot easier to stomach. Now, is the quality going to be different? Probably. Is this going to hold up just as well? I mean, probably not going to be honestly all that different, but just to give you guys a little bit of an idea of just kind of the product itself here. The exterior dimensions is about 7 inches by 4 inches, 4.5, kind of depending if you're talking about just like the case itself, or if you're going like all the way to the buckle there. Alternatively, on this one that I got here, the interior dimension is going to be about 6 inches by about 3.5. And like I said, this is pretty much exactly the same as what you're going to get if you get the actual Pelican case. You don't have to worry about peeling that annoying sticker off the front. That said, I mean, if I did actually spend the money for a Pelican one, I probably would just leave the sticker on there, just like as a bit of a flex. But this is just gonna clasp there on the side. We've got this carabiner over here, just simple black carabiner, and I'm sure you can find these also in different colors. Basically, you're gonna want a clear one, and you're just going to have that option of maybe just some different color parts here for this interior piece. Now, this piece is removable. It's kind of tricky to get out, but you can remove that. And of course, one thing that you could do is cut out a piece of box art or something, put it here on the back side and stick it in there. We'll try that out, see how that's gonna look here in a second. But the nice thing is that this is kind of rubbery, and the good part about that is that it means that our kit, it will kind of help to keep our kit in place. Now, one thing that of course you can also do is cut out a piece of either like styrofoam padding or something to put in there as well. Like I said, with this trend basically consisting of just sticking a kit inside of here and then clipping it onto your bag or whatever, just as a way to carry your kit around and show off to people and let people know that you're into cool stuff too. Honestly, something that I don't really plan on using. I don't really carry a bag around with me. I do have a backpack that I use, but I really don't want to have something this huge just like hanging off the side of it. One thing that I will tell you guys, just culturally, why I think these kind of became popular in Japan is because keychain type of stuff that you're going to hang from your bag is definitely much more common in Japan. And why is that? It's probably just due to the fact because a lot more people use public transportation, and commuting means you're just carrying a bag with you a lot, where a lot of people, at least like here in the US, would go to work or to the store or wherever by car, in which case you don't need to carry a bag around with you. You could just, have your phone, your keys, whatever, just in your pockets. So people just don't really use like bags as much here in the US, I think. So probably going to be less opportunity to use something like this, but if you're the kind of person that does like to carry a bag around with you when you go places, being able to display your kit on here might be something kind of fun. So let's go ahead and try our first experiment with Gunpla, the easiest thing you might think of to use for this because it's what most people use. In this case, I'm going to use this recently reviewed HG Zaku kit here. I'm just going to take out this rubber piece here and just kind of place it where I want on the box to cut out. It would be kind of cool to have that symbol there, but it's not really going to fit. I don't want to have like cut off text. So I'm thinking I'm going to go try to get like this text in here and also a bit of the Zaku, something like that. This part up there might be kind of cool. There you go, I think that'll be pretty cool. Then we just grab some scissors and cut that out. There we go. Not perfect, but looks pretty cool. So we'll stick that in there. Stick this back in here. And then our Zaku kit actually will be a pretty snug fit in here. So it shouldn't wiggle around too much. We can even maybe take our rifle, sneak that in there, can we? Oh, that's a little bit long. Fortunately, this kit also comes with the shorter version of the rifle. We can sneak that in there. And again, this is where that foam insert might come in handy, so stuff's not just like all over the place inside there. But let's see. Close that up, and there we go. It looks very cool. And of course, we gotta flip this around on the other side. Boom! There you are. Very awesome Kokoro's Dwan's Island with this sniping Zaku in tow. And now I'm free to clip this onto my man bag and go to the library. No, so of course, that looks awesome. But like I said, I wanted to make this video a little bit different. So let's also, aside from Gunpla, I mean, let's say that you have a variety of taste. You're not just a simple-minded Gunpla fan, but you also like all kinds of other model kits as well. Let's try some other stuff. So I've gone ahead and gathered a bunch of different kits here. We're gonna play everyone's favorite game, Will It Fit? Let's start off with the recently reviewed here, Blitzschlag, part of the Titanomaquia series here. And we're gonna be having this problem with a lot of these kits, I feel like, in that it's just gonna not be deep enough in here. If the kit's got like a big backpack or very long toes, which this kit has both, it's just not really gonna be fitting in here, I feel like. So it looks like our Blitzschlag is close. And I feel like if you could modify the feet to like be pointing down a little bit more or something, it's gonna like bend the knees, then like the knee is gonna be sticking up. And then still we've got the issue of the backpack. So it looks really cool and it's a nice fit in there size-wise, but it's just not quite gonna fit. It's gonna be like real cramped in there. It's gonna be pretty tight. Let's say you wanted something really cute, like a Poképla Squirtle kit. Now the Squirtle's tail would be the issue. That's fortunately on a ball joint, so that can actually move. And I feel like our little blue buddy here is probably gonna fit, it looks like. There you go. Perfect for your Poképla. Now, obviously, other Poképla kits, like if you had like a Rayquaza or something, or an Arceus or something like that, wouldn't exactly fit in there. But at least for some Poképla, I mean, it looks a bit sad, to be honest. It's like, let me out of here. Doesn't exactly have the most happy expression on his face. So Squirtle will fit, but we're not going to keep him in there. Pretty safe to assume that our friendly Notchin kit here from Kotobukiya is just not gonna fit, unfortunately. If you were to get one of the smaller Choipla kits, that probably would fit, although you would have a lot of extra space. You could probably fit like 2 of them in here. That might be kind of cool. We'll try one more smaller cute kit here with this SD Ground Gundam. Now we can actually probably take off his backpack and put that in there. Like I was saying, basically having like 2 of our Notchin kits in there. I'm gonna just kind of straighten up his proportions a little bit, and we can essentially just put him in there together with his fridge box down like that. And obviously, I mean, you could mess with the posing of this a little bit. You could try to straighten that up a bit more, but safe to say that at least some of the smaller SD kits will definitely fit. Again, if you wanted to fit something more like the SD Neo Zeong or something, obviously not gonna fit in there. But for SD kits, you could definitely make it work. But like I said, we're not doing Gunpla, that's boring. Let's try one of the Buster Doll kits here with our Buster Doll Gunner kit from Kotobukiya. I was about to take the base off, but I think we might actually be able to use the base here. We could actually just omit a couple of pieces from the base and turn it into something like that might fit in here. Now the part at the back's going to be kind of sticking up a little bit, and like I said, we'll have to try to kind of mess with the pose a little bit, but at least it's small enough that it should fit in there really nicely like that. And you got the base in there and everything with the Megami Device logo. I'd say that's a pretty good fit. I like that quite a bit, very nice. And sticking with our theme of mecha girls here, let's see if our frame music girl Miku will fit in here. Well, I mean, I'm sure it will fit in here, but let's just see how it looks. I think it's gonna actually work really quite nicely here. So there we go, like a perfect fit, like a glove there. And of course you can mess with the pose a little bit, but that also looks really nice. Let's say you wanted to ditch anything robot at all and get super meta by having a girl with a bag attached to your bag. Now we can keep this puzzle piece here once again, because I think that might make for a pretty cool part just to have kind of in the case in the background there. We can stick Bukiko Kotobuki from the Sosai Shoujo Teian line right in there for a perfect fit. And I gotta say, people have been using these for like their Gunpla kits, but I'm finding that these Kotobukiya Mecha Musume and just Musume kits actually are like a perfect fit in here as well for like your 1/12 scale female character kits, and it would probably be the same for like your 30-minute sisters kits as well, but perfect fit for that too. But all right, I hear you. I can see the comments now. Enough with the girly kits. All right, back to some robots here. Let's try some scope dogs. Now this is a 1/35 scale brutish dog kit here from Wave. Obviously not going to be too much of an issue with these, as these kits are pretty small and not exactly very deep. That's going to fit in there just fine. Again, it is going to be kind of moving around in there a little bit. Well, that part fell off. So yeah, I mean, you just want to make sure that any parts that are prone to falling off are glued in place, or at least something. Again, you can help that with the foam insert. I just kind of don't really like the look of the foam inserts, to be honest. I mean, if something will like fit in here without having to use an insert, that would be perfect. This one, it's a good size, it's a good fit overall. Maybe just stick like a little block here at the base below it for it to be like to look like it's sort of like standing on a wood block base. Hey, actually, I unfortunately don't have something that's going to be quite the right size, but I think with this you guys can kind of get the idea. Just kind of how that's going to look if you wanted to have, if you have like a shorter kit like this on the little wood block base, if you got something that just kind of fit the dimensions maybe a bit more, that would look really, really nice, but it looks pretty cool. But if it was anything larger, like one of the 1/24 scale kits, this is just going to be, unfortunately, just a little bit too big to fit in there. And the same thing goes for any of like the larger Gundam kits. So obviously we tried a high grade kit in there. Most like high grade and real grade kits in 1/44 scale will fit inside here. That said, if it's one of the larger real grade kits or high grade kits, or obviously most stuff in 1/100 scale, I think like maybe, well, I was gonna say maybe something like the F91 or Crossbone Gundam. I do remember I do happen to have a master grade Crossbone Gundam right here, and even the smaller MGs, like the Crossbone's gonna be too big. So that's kind of about as small as you get in real grade. There's probably, I think like the F91 is maybe slightly smaller, and that's kind of about the smallest MG. So anything MG 1/100 scale Gundam kit's probably not going to fit in here. And so size will definitely be something you have to take into consideration. And then if you want to use any kind of insert to hold your kit in place, as far as the kit like kind of bouncing around in here, I'm really not too worried about it. I think plastic, especially like model kit plastic, is pretty resilient. And I think a lot of people think that it's like this like super brittle thing that if you allow your kit to move around in here at all, as soon as it like bumps once, it's just gonna like shatter to pieces. Your model is not gonna break from just like bouncing around in here a little bit. That said, I mean, like if you're having this like throwing around as if it were getting loaded into like a FedEx truck or something, then, you know, maybe you wanted to be careful with it. But anyway, hopefully today's demonstration video gave you guys some ideas of how you might want to use this for your Gunpla or other things aside from Gunpla. Like I said, I think it worked out really well for Kotobukiya's Musume kits, so definitely give that a try if you guys are so inclined. But if you do have any other questions, of course, do feel free to let me know in the comment section below. Like I said, it's pretty much just like a really simple thing, but I hope that my video was able to give you guys a little bit different take on this trend. Let me know in the comment section what you thought about this. What were some of your favorite things to try out to put in here, or any other ideas that you guys might have? Obviously, another thing you could try out would just be something like hobby supplies here, for example, is another option that you could do. Now, again, these are going to be rattling around, so maybe not the best idea. Maybe again putting a piece of foam in there just to kind of make sure your stuff's not shaking around, but another way to let people know, hey, I do cool stuff. But that's it for today's video, guys. Thanks so much. If you want to check out some of these model kits, obviously not these, not the case, but the model kits that you guys saw in the case, a lot of that stuff's available here at USA Gundam Store. The link will be down in the video description below. Check out some of the kits and cool stuff there on the website. But for now, guys, thanks for checking out the video here. Hope that was kind of interesting for y'all, but till next time, have a great day, guys. See you later. Bye-bye.